First of all, we'd like to welcome you to the 5th Annual Farm Bureau Focus Broadband Bash at the Beach Football Jamboree. As promised, we're going to start at 12:30 so we can get this event moving forward and everyone can get back to their practices and scrimmages and whatnot they have to do. We want to thank Brunswick Community College for allowing us to use their facilities today, and we would like to ask Dr. Gene Smith to come up and welcome you to his beautiful campus. Let's give it up for Dr. Gene Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon. What an exciting time it is. It's football season again, and we're excited to host you here on the beautiful campus of Brunswick Community College. As you can tell, we have an athletics program here. We have men's and women's basketball. You can see the successes that we have. We're missing 3 banners from this past year. We'll get those up soon. Our baseball team is nationally recognized every year. We don't yet have a football team, but if we did, I'm sure we have some recruits in the building. We are excited to work with West Brunswick and the community members to host you all here. It's an exciting time. As former high school football player, I will say to the high school players, enjoy your time, because one day you'll take that helmet and shoulder pads off for the last time and you will miss it every year. You will miss it every year. I'm 57 and I hadn't worn a helmet since I was 18, but I miss it every August. For you coaches, thank you so much for what you do for the young folks in the room. My dad was a coach, my brother is a coach, and I know the commitment that you have. You're not doing it for the money, you're doing it to help change student athletes' lives. And for that, I really appreciate it and respect what you're doing. And for our community partners, thank you for helping our high schools to be successful and to provide this opportunity for the student athletes. I want to welcome you again to Brunswick Community College. If you ever need anything, we're here in little old Bolivia, North Carolina, but maybe you'll get a chance to ride around a little bit and see our campus. We're excited you're here and welcome you back anytime in the near future. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. All right, we'd like to introduce some major sponsors. Each sponsor will briefly talk about their part in this event. First, we have Farm Bureau, Mr. Ryan Huffman.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Huffman, and I'm proud to represent North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance here today. I'm currently an agent in the Leland office, but prior to my insurance career, I was a teacher and a coach at North Brunswick High School. I've been a part of local jamborees going on 20 years now, and I always love this time of year, and I'm excited that football's back. As a company deeply rooted in the communities we serve across this great state, we are honored to be a part of this jamboree. This is a local tradition that binds us together like few others. First off, let me share a bit about why North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is a name you can trust. NC Farm Bureau has offices and agents in all 100 counties across North Carolina, and we've been recognized time and time again for our commitment to excellence. Just this year, Forbes magazine ranked us as the #1 auto insurer in the nation, 4th in homeowners insurance, highlighting our dedication to providing top-tier protection and service. And for the 6th straight year, we've earned the top spot in the Crash Network's insurance report card. These magazine and industry ratings aren't just accolades, they're a testament to how we put our members first, ensuring peace of mind when it matters most. Now let's talk about why we're all here and the importance of high school football. In North Carolina, Friday Night Lights aren't just games, they're a cornerstone to our culture and our community. From Manio to Murphy, thousands of players, parents, coaches, and community members get together and cheer on these young men and women each week, and it's unlike any other sporting event at the high school level. Football builds character, fosters teamwork, creates lifelong memories, and teaches young athletes the value of perseverance, discipline, leadership, and community pride. And NC Farm Bureau believes in investing in the next generation of leaders, which is why we are committed to empowering young people through sport. And in closing, thank you for letting Farm Bureau be a part of this incredible event. Let's cheer on our teams and celebrate their achievements. And remember that with the right support on and off the field, future leaders of this community will have foundations rooted in hard work, dedication, perseverance, and pride. Thank you.
All right, next up we have from Focus Broadband, Mr. Ryan Hill. Ryan played in the Jamboree in the mid-2000s for West Brunswick High School. Let's give it up for Ryan Hill.
Good afternoon. As Coach mentioned, I'm Ryan Hill. I'm the Residential Development Manager at Focus Broadband. First, thank you all for allowing us to be a part of this event. Again, as he mentioned, I played in the early 2000s, so it's amazing to see how far this event has come. We had nothing like this, so you players and coaches are certainly fortunate to have this. This is an exciting year for us as we just celebrated 70 years since our founding. In 1955, we had two local guys who had a vision to impact the community and provide high-speed internet and telephone and all that good stuff to their local community. So although they had that vision and 70 years later the mission is still the same, we still look to provide that community support and enhance our broadband-enabled technology. So over the years, we've been able to provide $80,000 in community and education grants, as well as $20,000 in scholarships to rising seniors. So all you guys here who are rising seniors or looking for scholarships, please reach out to myself or some of our marketing team. That way we can provide scholarships for you guys. We also sponsor local community events and programs, so you probably see us attending every workforce development program out there. Just connect with one of us and we'll be able to support you in any way that we can. And like I mentioned, we're investing back in our communities. We're also providing high-speed internet to Columbus County, Pender County, Duplin County, Blading, and obviously Brunswick. So if you hadn't had a chance to experience our fiber optic network yet, it's truly amazing. If you hadn't received it yet in Brunswick County, we're working on it. And if you look around your tables, you'll see table tents created by our lovely marketing team. You'll scan that QR code there. They'll take you directly to the live coverage this week, Thursday and Friday. We'll also be providing live coverage of every week's game of the week. Thank you to our marketing team, our production team for doing that. So you guys be sure to follow us on Facebook so you can keep up with that live coverage. And once again, thank you all for allowing us to be a part of this event. We look forward to seeing you all. Thank you.
Okay, next up from Truist, we have Evan Gore, who is their market president, Evan Gore.
Hope everybody's doing well. I'm Evan Gore. I'm market president with Truist, and I cover the Brunswick, Columbus, Bladen, and Robeson County markets. For those of you that were here last year, you probably got to see John Gardner up here. John Gardner covers our New Hanover and Duplin County markets. He's the younger and better looking version of the Truist banker, so sorry, but I'm what you got today. So, I've been with the bank now. I just celebrated my 30th anniversary with the bank, so I've been around a lot of the jamborees over the years, from the United Carolina Bank and BB&T jamborees. And first thing I want to do is I want to thank the committee with the Bash at the Beach for kind of keeping this dream going and allowing us to continue to be a sponsor of this event. So let's give them a hand because I know how much hard work goes into planning this. So the other thing that I've done a lot over the last 30 years with the bank is I've been through a lot of sales meetings. And so if you go through a sales meeting at the bank, you usually start with a sports analogy, and I've got 3 or 4 quotes that I pulled out as if I were going to do a sales meeting for the next month, how I would start those. For you student athletes, you may have to get on your phone and figure out who some of these famous people are, but the older guys in the room will definitely know who they are. So the first one is start the meeting with this quote: "It's not the will to win, but the will to prepare that makes the difference, and that was by a legendary football coach named Bear Bryant. And what you would do there is you would have a meeting where you concentrated on the process. I know a lot of you have heard your coaches do that. Then another one, this guy missed more than 9,000 shots, lost almost 300 games. He said, I failed over and over again, and that's why I succeed, and that's Michael Jordan. So some of you student athletes may actually know who Michael Jordan is. But it just shows you some of the qualities where you get knocked down, you got to get up, have a good attitude about it. Then there's another one here, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That was Wayne Gretzky. That's a hockey player for you young guys that never heard that name. I kind of used that one in high school basketball, and that's probably why I didn't play after high school. Then another one, it's hard to beat someone who never gives up, and that's Babe Ruth, who was a famous baseball player. And so you can imagine where you go there with in a sales environment where you continue to get up every day and follow the process and work hard. So I give you those, and then I want to ask you a question as I close. So why do you think a community would have sponsors who are investing money, have volunteers who are working so hard to put on an event like this so you can have the opportunity to go play in front of a few thousand fans and have great opportunities to meet people? Why do you think there are those volunteers that have worked all day and then they're in the concession stand for your football games on Friday night, working really hard again, taking up money at the gate, preparing food for you, all those things that everybody kind of takes for granted? And it's one thing, it's because the community is investing in you. And they're not investing in you because they're expecting you all to make a living playing the sport, whatever it is that you're playing. They're investing in you because they want you to have those qualities that we all look for in business, which you learn from your coaches and you learn from the experience that you have when you're able to go play on the stage that you're able to play on. So don't take any of this time for granted. Learn all you can. For those of you who get to get some tuition paid or make a little money out of it, hey, that's all great. But I promise you, when you're my age and you stand there, you'll remember every second of every game. You might not be able to remember what you were supposed to for that day on the business side, but you'll remember every game you ever played. So don't take it for granted. Also, when you're in your stadium back home and you see those sponsor signs on the side of the fence, if you got an opportunity, go do business with those folks because they've sacrificed for an investment in you. So again, thank you for the committee for allowing Truist to be part of this great event, and I wish everybody the best. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Capital Chevrolet, Wayne Barber. He is the owner of Capital Chevrolet in Charlotte. Let's give it up for Wayne Barber.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity, Jimmy. You do an outstanding job, and everybody should give him applause for putting this whole thing together. You really do a great job. At Capital Chevrolet, we've been here for 3 years now, and we're really committed to high school athletics. Being a high school athlete myself, it's an easy thing to do is to spend money on youth. It's important. But today, I want to talk to the coaches because you are more important than anybody else in those guys' lives except for maybe their parents. You touch them every single day, and you have to set the standards for what they're going to do for the rest of their life, because winning does matter. Winning matters on the field, winning matters in the workplace, and winning matters in life. And if you don't support those standards and build those standards in these kids, they're going to be lost. So build those standards, create great human beings, and everybody have a great season. Thank you.
And finally, one of our major sponsors, Novant. We have Victoria Bellamy. She's the manager community engagement for the coastal region. She's also a former West Brunswick athlete. Let's give it up for Victoria Bellamy.
Good afternoon. My name is Victoria Bellamy. I'm the Community Engagement Manager for Novant Health's North Carolina Coastal Region, and as Coach Caraway mentioned, also a West Brunswick High alum. On behalf of Novant Health, I'm honored to be here to support the Bash at the Beach Football Jamboree. At Novant Health, we believe in building healthier communities, and that means being present not only in our hospitals and clinics, but out here in the community, celebrating what matters to you. Whether it's a Friday night injury that comes into our emergency department, or our orthopedic and rehabilitation services helping athletes get back in the game, Novant Health is proud to care for our neighbors. We appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate the coaches. We appreciate the players. We are so proud to be a sponsor this year and to keep this tradition going on. So thank you for having us. Bye.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to list our scholarship recognition. In 2022, the Bash at the Beach decided to bring back the Jamboree scholarships. In 2023, the Bash at the Beach Committee decided to bring back another tradition that goes with the scholarship. The Scholarship Committee decided to allow each school to honor one of its own sponsors by naming the scholarships given in their honor. The initial recognition will be for a period of 5 years. After the 5-year period, each school will have an opportunity to honor another individual. Each school made its recommendation to honor the individual who is either still living or deceased. The scholarship certificates that will be presented to the students will have this recognition included in the script. When I call the name of each school, if the person is in attendance or their family members are in attendance, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. The following scholarship honorees are: from Ashley High School, James McAdams. From Laney High School, Ruby Sutton. From South Brunswick High School, Chris Rayner. From Wallace Rose Hill High School, Jack Ray Holly. From Hoggard High School, Jane McFadden. From New Hanover High School, Robert Bob Moore. From South Columbus High School, Everlyn Davis. From West Brunswick High School, Alan Holden. From Whiteville High School, Dr. Jerry Pascal. From East Bladen High School, Eric Cheney. From Northside Jacksonville High School, Pharaoh Parker. From North Brunswick, Bob Grimes. And Topsail High School, Jamie Rochelle. Please join me in thanking these individuals for their dedication and commitment to their communities. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for our invocation. We want to first thank the FCA for sponsoring the Media Day Luncheon. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it. So we have Mr. Don Evans will say our invocation for us.
I'm going to take a moment and point out that Evan Gore is here speaking for Truist Bank. But he knows about what you all go through and about the process of high school athletics and then following it through. His son is Mackenzie Gore that pitches for the Washington Nationals. So y'all dedicate what you do and think about it. Stick with it. There is success in that. Let us pray. Our Father, we're grateful for this privilege of being here today. Every single person that's participating, this is not a happen so. It was arranged by you, and we're grateful for that opportunity. Father, we thank you for for what you do. You're the creator, the giver of life, the one that's loved the world, and the maintainer of the universe. We thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, for the virgin birth, the in-the-flesh ministry, the crucifixion, and the resurrection, and for interceding on our behalf through salvation, through saving grace and loving mercy, so that we might humbly approach you, Father, the Almighty, with our petitions and our requests in life. We lift up each of these participants in this year's Bash at the Beach, this opening of the football season for many. We thank you for the relationships that they will enjoy with all the different members of all the teams, and with the relationship with their fellow members from the schools they are. And we thank you for the coaches that dedicate, that honor these players with their skills and their talents and their gifts, to grow them, to help mature them spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. God, you're so good to us, and we look to you and thank you for all things. And we do this in the name of Jesus, your Son. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and begin eating, getting the food and begin eating. Please allow the head coaches of the teams to go first, and then all players in attendance, please meet over at the big banner for a quick picture, a photo opportunity before getting in line to eat. All right, so let's go ahead, let's get some food.
Right here.
Yeah, Coach, what makes Focus Broadband different?
Great question. It's not just having the fastest internet. No, sir. It's about how we play the game. Every new install, every support call, they matter to us. These aren't just customers. These are our neighbors, friends, family. We don't just connect homes, we connect with people. That's special.
Sometimes the simplest things have the biggest impact. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, having an impact in your life helps you do the same in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Whether it's game day or movie night, working from home or doing a research paper, if you're online, Focus Broadband's got the speed you need. We're not going to let you down. See that? Another satisfied customer. Speed, reliability, and incredible service. With a game plan like that, you bring home the trophy. Every time.
I gotta get one of those visors.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is proud to be named one of America's best insurance companies by Forbes. The difference is our people and our local award-winning service. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
Right here.
Coach, what makes Focus Broadband different?
Great question. It's not just having the fastest internet. No, sir. It's about how we play the game. Every new install, every support call, they matter to us. These aren't just customers. These are our neighbors, friends, family. We don't just connect homes, we connect with people. That's special.
Sometimes the simplest things have the biggest impact. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, having an impact in your life helps you do the same in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Whether it's game day or movie night, working from home or doing a research paper, if you're online, Focus Broadband's got the speed you need. We're not going to let you down. See that? Another satisfied customer. Speed, reliability, and incredible service. With a game plan like that, you bring home the trophy. Every time.
I gotta get one of those visors.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is proud to be named one of America's best insurance companies by Forbes. The difference is our people and our local award-winning service. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
1961. He's an American former high school athletics administrator and football coach. He was most recently the athletic director of Lexington School District 1 in Lexington, South Carolina from 2017 to 2023. Bennett served as the head football coach at Catawba College from 1995 to 2001 and at Coastal Carolina University from 2003 to 2011. Bennett played football and golf at Presbyterian College, where he earned a bachelor's degree in history and social studies from Presbyterian in 1984. He added a master's degree in guidance and counseling from Clemson University. Bennett was hired in December 2021, or December 21st, 2001, as the Chanticleer's first head coach prior to the football program's launch of the season in 2003. Bennett's teams produced a 63-39 record, playing at the NCAA Division I FCS level. Under his tenure, the Chanticleers reached the FCS playoffs twice, finished in at least a tie for the Big South regular season title 4 times. Some of his accomplishments: he's 3-time SAC champions, 4-time Big South champions. He's also won major awards as the AFCA Division II Coach of the Year in 1995, the SAC Coach of the Year in 1995, and 2-time Big South Coach of the Year in 2004 and 2010. Once again, let's give it up for David Bennett. We're going to play a short video before Coach Bennett gets started.
In coaching, when I was a younger coach, I used to think the more we won, the better I was. Okay? And a lot of coaches are made that way. And a lot of that's just the way we are. We're competitive. But at the end of the day, you're going to win and lose ball games. Now, what are we doing with these kids to help make them better people for the rest of their life? To make them a guy, a better person, a better husband, a better father, for a girl, a better woman, a better wife, a better mother. That's what it's all about with the kids. It's not about you and your wins, and you learn that the older you get.
My wife told me he had some article in there about people on a blog calling for some of our coaches to be let go. It's time to make some changes in the staff. My whole thing there is, who's on them blogs? Who's spending time on those blogs? I got something else I can have you do, something that's productive, doing some work rather than on a blog. People talk to me about on the blog. Who's on the blog? Who's on the blog? Put your real name on the blog. Put your real name on the blog. I ain't got time for all that. We got work to be done. Trying to get our 2 boys ready to carry them to golf tournament for practice, right? 12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. Screen's broke. We need to get a new screen door, but the screen's broke. So you can come in through the screen, but you can't get back out of it. I turn and look, there's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, what are you doing in here, little kitty cat? By that time, the cat turns, tries to get back out. That screen won't go that way. Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. And I told our players, we need more dogs. Bo's barking in the back. I have to go shut Bo up. Mel's like, what's going on? I said, there's a cat in the house. Cat in the house? I said, yeah, there's a cat in the house. So I told our players, I tried to let it out the front door. Meow, meow, the cat's still going crazy in there. And I told our players, you need to be more like a dog. We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
I never walked up here and somebody played that video, so thank you, Coach Fletcher. Appreciate it. Old coach is packing up his office. He's done. He's packing up his office. He's about finished, and the young coach is coming in. And the young coach is smart enough to say, can you give me some advice? I want a little bit of advice for this job. He said, I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'll leave you 3 envelopes in this drawer. Don't open envelopes until you really need some help. So the first year, they go about 500. He don't mess with the drawer. Second year, they have a losing record. He opens the drawer. It says envelope number 1. He opens it. It says blame the former coach. So media comes. He says, we had a lot of work to do. Coach didn't have these boys ready. So you know how that goes. The next year, they have another bad year. So the coach goes back into the drawer. Envelope number 2. He opens the envelope. It says, blame the players. How good's that going to go if your coach blames the players? So he starts blaming them. Next year, it's not a good year. He opens envelope number 3. It says, make 3 envelopes for the next coach. You know, this is a crazy world we live in today with all this NIL stuff, and it's coming. Oh, it's coming. Still never forget why we play this great game, why we play any sports. Don't ever forget what really matters, and that's the relationships and the friendships you make and the lessons you're going to learn help prepare you for the rest of your life. Brunswick County is very special to us. We've been coming here since my dad had a trailer over on Holden Beach. Believe it or not, in the 80s, there were trailers on the ocean front. And my dad was blessed enough to get one of them trailers. We thought we had made it. We got a trailer at the beach. I come in and I see Alan Holden getting a public safety building over here. That looks like that's going to be an indoor practice facility to me rather than a public safety thing. Watch out for Dr. Smith and things they're doing here at Brunswick Community College. I love coming back. Jimmy Fletcher, Coach Fletcher and I have stayed in touch through all the years. He used to coach at East Tennessee State, Lenore Ryan, so we were college coaching against each other, rivals, recruiting same guys. Brunswick County's blessed to have him. They're blessed to have Coach Shane Handy. Coach Shane Handy coached at Catawba College when we went to Coastal, and the guy he coached with, Chip Hester, you want to find a place to go, you want to go somewhere and make it big, go to daggum Barton College and play for Coach Hester. He might be one of the finest people walking on this earth. That's how I met Coach Handy. Not even to tell you, we used to play golf with our shirt off back in the day in the early 90s at a golf course in Salisbury called McCandless. Coach Handy, where's Coach Handy? I'm glad you're a better football coach than you were a golfer. You one of them guys, they say if they don't play good golf, they're a pretty good coach. I think you're a pretty good coach because your golf game was shaky. It's a pleasure to always be back here. The Scorpions, North Brunswick, that's y'all. Adrian Grady, that's y'all's school. We came there and recruited him. Got him to come to Coastal. We had to beat App. Well, App was 6 hours away, so all we had to do was not mess it up. And y'all know Adrian Grady. He's the AD head football coach at North Charleston High. We talk weekly. He's a special dude. He needs to be in the Coastal Hall of Fame. 4-year all-conference. Any of you guys in here 4-year all-conference in high school? I didn't think so. Give you something to work forward to and work hard. What I want to leave you with today, I was told I had an hour, but we just go in 10 minutes. Is that okay? Is as we go through life, I want to challenge you with this thing. 6 things I want you to do real quick. I want you to love more. Tell people you love them. Don't be afraid to tell them you love them. We're riding here and my wife's on her phone and she's ADHD and everything else there is under the sun. And I love her to death. When I'm driving here thinking about what I'm going to say, she starts talking to me about we need to hold hands more. And I'm like, what? She's saying, take things seriously with your loved one, holding hands, telling each other you love each other. And she says, and when we fuss, we're supposed to fuss about what we're fussing about, not fussing against each other. She said, love each other like teammates, not rivals.
So she's giving me lessons all the time. She gave me a lesson on love driving here. I guess she was telling me to be a better lover or something. Next thing is to encourage people, lift them up. Lift people up, don't put them down. We had a custodian at Catawba College that loved going in the locker room, getting all the aspirin and Tylenol. He said, boy, y'all laid the wood to them today. He said, I got a shoebox full. We started taking him on the road with us. He would come in on Mondays and give a 50-cent candy bar, the Nestle Crunch, the hit of the game. Listen to this, a custodian, 50-cent candy bar. The last thing we did at our team meeting, he gave out the 50-cent candy bar. Kids got a standing ovation from the custodian. You tell me everybody's not important. Encourage people. We encouraged him, he encouraged us. He became one of our assistant coaches. We had to back him up on the sideline. I said, Joe, you ain't getting no penalty. He said, watch me, coach. I said, it'll be your last trip. He said, I'm backing up. Encourage people. Have God at the center of your life, and don't be ashamed of that. I get to go to church every Sunday with Alan Holden and Dr. Smith. Every Sunday. Have God at the center of your life and be proud of that. Have a great attitude. You ever heard people say, I gotta babysit my grandchild? I gotta babysit? What? You ain't got to, you get to. When you wake up every day, you get to choose that attitude. That's the only thing you get to choose is your attitude. Is it gonna be a great day, or are you gonna help make it a great day? So when you wake up every morning, choose that great attitude, because I'm gonna tell you this, it's contagious. It is contagious. If you got bad people and they got bad attitudes, guess what? You ain't gonna be hanging around them long. Have a great attitude. Create a great culture wherever you are. If it's selling cars, if it's in a school, if it's at a bank, it doesn't matter where. If it's Focus, what's that? Focus. Y'all, I see y'all trying to copy old Ted Lasso. Hope y'all don't get sued on that, Focus. No, I love Ted Lasso too. I hope they come back with another episode. Culture. What are you doing to change the culture where you are? And the last thing, be different. Have a yearning. Wake up and be motivated to go where people look at you and go, there's something different about that young man. There's something different about that coach. There's something different about that mayor, that president. There's something different about them. If you put that all together, love, encourage, God, attitude, culture, and a yearning, that word is legacy. So I challenge every one of you. What is your legacy going to be when you're done? When you're done playing at your high school, are they going to know you as not only a good player, but a great person? What type of son are you? What type of grandson are you? What type of coach are you? What type of man are you? What type of woman are you? How's your family going to remember you? So I challenge you, as you go through this season and you get to play on TV, and Coach Fletcher's done a phenomenal job with this game, I'm going to ask you a little bit deeper. What's your legacy going to be? When your time is done with your high school, are you going to college? You want to go be big and make it big? Go whoever wants you. If you're good enough, you can prove it there. And then you can go from there. Rosters are rebuilt in college every day. My question to you is, what will your legacy be? Have a great day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the coaches come on up front, take their place at the big tables for the coaches' interviews. All right, questions will go in order of the games being played. Tables to the right are Thursday night games. Tables to the left are Friday night games. The 7 Carolina Coast Conference teams are the home teams. Their 7 opponents are the visiting teams. Each game will end and the next game will begin. This year we will reset field positions after each scrimmage, but the total score will continue to be a running score. This year the Carolina Coast Conference teams will be wearing their dark home uniforms. The 7 visitor teams will be wearing their white away jerseys due to the home teams winning in 2024. One reminder, all special teams during all games are dead. Please remind your players about this before the games. Another reminder, the games will be on Thursday and Friday this year. We tried this last year, but the hurricane had other plans. Saturday, August 16th will be a possible makeup date if needed, but let's keep our fingers crossed that we won't need to do that this year. Another point to mention, South Brunswick was originally a home team in the Bash at the Beach, but due to new realignment and the 8-class system, South Brunswick has moved to a new conference and will now represent the away team at the Bash at the Beach. So all the coaches are here. Let's get this started. We're going to start off kicking off the Jamboree. We have East Bladen Eagles taking on the Topsail Pirates. The East Bladen Eagles are led by longtime head coach Robbie Priest. The Eagles finished the season 5-7 overall last year, 3-3 in conference play. The Eagles lost to North Duplin in the second round of the 1A North Carolina High School Athletic Association state playoffs. Question 1, Coach Priest, welcome back. New conference this year. What do you think will be similar or different compared to previous years?
Since it's a new conference, I think it'll be interesting and fun to be a part of. Different, I don't know about different, you know. We just worry about us and what we can do.
Wonderful. After your first 4 non-conference games, what do you hope to learn about your 2025 football team this year?
I hope we get some more recruits in. We're a little slim, but I think we'll be all right. Got a good group of kids that work hard. You know, the kind that you invite over to your house and let them eat at your kitchen table with you. So we got a good group of kids. So I'm pleased with that part of it.
All right, cool. Who are some names that we can expect to hear from Thursday night?
Deshaun Campbell, he's our senior running back, linebacker. Sometimes he'll drop down and play D-tackle too. Xavier Potts, Julius Battle, Jarrell May, Bradley Townsend, just to name a few. We got a good nucleus of last year's team back, so kind of excited about it.
All right, thank you, Coach Priest, and good luck Thursday night. The Eagles will take on Topsail, the Topsail Pirates. The Pirates are led by their new head coach, Chris Schmidt. The Pirates finished the season 4-6 overall last year, 3-4 in conference play. The Pirates lost to Richmond Senior in the first round of the 4A state playoffs last year. Coach, congratulations on a new job. Briefly tell us some of your background and how you ended up at Topsail High School.
Thank you very much. I've been there the last 3 years as the defensive coordinator, and so happy to take over the head job from Coach Tichy. Happy to have learned from him, the amazing man that he was, and mentor that he was to me. And I think it helped being there because, you know, I've been with these guys for the last 3 years, and this senior class was the first one that I kind of came in with, and now get to be with them as we finish up their senior year and my first year as their head coach.
Awesome. Coach, how important is your non-conference schedule heading into conference play against Ashley on September 19th?
Very important. You know, we really tried to focus on schools we ended up playing everybody in the same conference, which was interesting, but we really wanted to get a competitive non-conference schedule so that it would set us up for our conference play, because, you know, our conference is no joke. And so, you know, we really wanted to make sure that we were testing ourselves early, because we knew once we get into conference play, there's no weeks off. And so we wanted to make sure that we were getting ourselves ready for the grind that is this season, and especially, you know, now with this new alignment, and sorry, West Brunswick, but with us getting a bye the next to last week of the season, and I mention that because West Brunswick doesn't have a bye until the last week of the season, which I don't even know if that's a bye at that point, but, you know, playing 9 games in a row is definitely not something I'm really looking forward to, but we'll find a way.
Awesome. What are some of your team goals for 2025 for the Pirates?
You know, the biggest thing for us right now is to just keep advancing from what we have been doing the past couple of years. We're coming off our best season in JV program history, our first winning season in program history with our junior varsity that anyone can find in the record books. And we have a great group of juniors that are rising from that JV rank, joining in with some of the guys that are left over on the varsity. So just looking to see how they all mesh together and come together, and it's been really exciting to see over the summer. We had 145 kids running around all summer. The excitement with our program, it seems like new kids are showing up every week, you know, with our high school and with our program. It's just a very exciting time at Topsail High School, athletics in general, and just at football as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Smith, and good luck Thursday night.
Thank you very much.
Next up, game 2 it will be between Wallace Rose Hill Bulldogs and the New Hanover Wildcats. The Wallace Rose Hill Bulldogs are led by Coach Kevin Motzinger. The Bulldogs finished the season 9-4 overall, 5-1 in the conference, and lost to rival James Keenan by 1 point in overtime in the 3rd round of the 2A North Carolina High School Athletic Association state playoffs. Question 1, Coach. Welcome back to another Jamboree Media Day. 2025 will be different right out the gate for the Bulldogs as you take on longtime rival East Duplin week 1. This is normally the end of the season game that decides the conference championship. What do you expect will be the same or different this year playing this game week 1 instead of late October?
First, I'd like to thank Coach Fletcher, all the sponsors for putting this on. When Coach Miller at New Hanover and Coach Sasser at South Brunswick started the Jamboree so long ago, and those that did, and for y'all to continue this. All the gentlemen getting up here and coach, thank you for taking the time and come speak. Football's more important than it's ever been, especially at the high school level. I think the NCAA and them communists have killed the college game, and it's we've turned into everything like everything else with money. And so, like the gentleman said, you know, we're investing in our kids, and without an event like this, we don't get to promote the kids the way they need. And right now, everybody's built on Amazon, and they want it right now, and they got to be on social media and be seen. And so this gives the kids an opportunity to be seen in a positive light. I've got 2 players with me today. I got the quarterback, Matt Wells, back there, number 15, and he was baptized not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that. And we got Christian Scarlett, Big Ugly. That's his nickname. It's not an insult. All of y'all can look at me and know I'm not insulting him because he looks a whole lot better than me. But we got those 2 players with us. To answer your question, East Duplin hates us. Our community hates us. They control the school board. They control the county commissioners. There's 4 schools in our county, and we're 5th place. When you come to our stadium Friday night, you won't be able to fit a toothpick in there. And those folks just downright hate us. Now, their football program, their coaches are awesome. We all get along. Coach Price can tell you he lived it. That ain't just me up here talking and saying nothing. You know, I was at New Hanover for 10 years, and the rivalry between New Hanover and Hoggard and all that stuff. I was in Alabama at Hoover High School and Vestavia Hills. But I've never seen anything like East Duplin and Wallace Rose Hill. And I think a lot of it's jealousy. And this ain't talking smack or junk, but Wallace was so successful and so dominant for so long with Coach Holly and then Coach Price, you know, that I think those folks got jealous and they finally had some success, and Coach Holly's son, Battle Holly, took over and has got that problem rolling in them folks. So what do I expect? I expect the gate to be full and every bleacher filled and all the way around by about 5:15. I expect their folks to treat us the way they think of us as soon as our kids walk out of them doors to take the field. And I expect that the people that paid her $10, because like everything else, we're going to make people pay $10 to come to a game when you got a mama of two that can't afford to feed their kids, but we're going to charge $10 for a game. I think it'll be full, and they're going to get to see a good football game with two good football programs, that the kids on both sides respect each other and the coaches respect each other. And then I'll let all the idiots outside of there have their feelings and say what they want to say.
Okay. The Bulldogs move up to the 3A in this new 8A class system in North Carolina. What are the pros and cons of this new system and new conference for the Bulldogs?
Well, my principal is Dr. Nichols, and he would never have me teach math. My wife tells my two sons, don't ask Daddy math questions. My dad tried to get me to cut a finger off so I'd do good in fractions. But if I do my math right, all we did was we're doing the same thing we did before with subdivision. And we're just calling it 1 through 8A, where before it was 1A, 1AA. You know, I think it's better. I don't like the conference stuff and the way it changed everything with the alignment and how hard it is to find games and that kind of stuff. But the playoff system, it is more fair, especially for us in the East. And I don't think I know the general population don't understand it. But when they drew that line for the playoffs, for example, when we went to the state championship and we played Shelby, if we would have been in the West, we would have been a 1A school. If Shelby would have been in the East, they would have been a 3A school. But we played in the 2A state championship. And, you know, a lot of schools here, you know, not taking the big schools, but everybody else that's not in the huge classifications got 3,000 kids. The East and the West wasn't fair. And so I think it makes it more fair when you get to the top of the mountain, that what's waiting for you on the other side is more genuine and more fair. I think that's the biggest issue. At the end of the day, it's about fair. You want equal opportunity and have an opportunity, apples and apples. And so I think the biggest thing with the subdivision and the classifications now is it's more fair when you get into the playoffs.
All right. Noticed that your longtime assistant coach and offensive coordinator left to become a head coach at Hobton. Does that bring any new changes to the offense for the Bulldogs?
I heard an absolute idiot to call the offense, and I've worked with him. We scrimmaged Friday and we scrimmaged last night, and he's a moron. He ain't got a clue what he's doing. I'll be calling the offense. And I hired Coach Pugh back there. Tyler Pugh's going to be our defensive coordinator. And so I'll be calling the offense. Coach Pugh will be calling the defense. And our coaches have really stepped up and enjoyed. You know, we've moved a lot of guys around and they're doing different things, but I think our coaches are having fun and our kids are having fun. And we got the injury bug right now. We got 4 offensive linemen injured between Friday and Monday. And so our concern right now is injuries. And we got a long way to go, but we got amazing kids that'll work hard. And I think no matter how the beginning of the season starts, I wouldn't want to see us when it gets cold, because that's when dogs like to hunt.
All right, one more thing. Listening to Coach Bennett speak earlier reminded me of a few other of your media day interviews in the past. What do you think about the people on the blogs and social media that were mentioned in Coach Bennett's introduction video?
I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. None of that stuff. I'm a type of person, I'd rather call you, talk to you, shake your hands. But I do know this, and I will say this. I would be remiss if I didn't say and thank all the coaches that are up here and people out there that have reached out to me praying for my wife and her dealing with breast cancer and all that stuff. you know, some of this social media is a good thing because it can promote, but it's like everything else the devil does. He twists it and turns it and makes it into what he wants it to be. And when God is present, and Coach said that, when God is there, you know, you can listen. And some of them bloggers and all that stuff, I use it. I've been an outsider. When I realized my mom had lied to me because she told me I was handsome and I was 14, I looked in the mirror and I said, if she lied to me about that, what else she lied to me about? That I realized that you can't believe what everybody says. So I take that stuff. If anything, I use it as motivation. But at the end of the day, for me, it's all about the kids, and that's not coaching talk. So all I want to do is I want to answer to my God. I want to answer to my wife, my family. I want to represent my family, our school. And at the end of the day, my God's going to judge me on what I did and how I treated my others, and did I love my neighbor, and did I take care of my kids. And so as long as my kids are good and the boys are good and the staff's good, God is great, so I'm good.
Thank you, Coach Motzinger, and good luck Thursday night. The Bulldogs will take on the New Hanover Wildcats. New Hanover is led by new head coach John Fuller. New Hanover finished the season 6-5 overall and 4-3 in conference play. The Wildcats lost to Pine Crest High School in the first round of the 4A state playoffs. Question 1, Coach, congratulations on the new job. Briefly tell us some of your background and how you ended up at New Hanover.
Well, first of all, it's not fair that I got to talk after Mott. That's just wrong. I love you too. But I've been in New Hanover over 20 years. I've coached with Earl Smith back in the early 2000s. I coached with Coach Mott back in 2009, and then again with Coach Smith, and then with Coach Demick. So I've been at one school my whole career. To me, there's no school better than New Hanover. I had no envisions of going anywhere else. This is a school I want to be at. But Coach Mott coached my son when he was a freshman in 2009. And when I told Caleb that we were playing Wallace, I'm still not 100% sure he's rooting for us. So, you know, whatever. We'll make it happen. But I love where I'm at. I love the kids we have. I love the staff we have. I'm excited to see what kind of product we're going to put on the field. And I'm still mad at you for making me play him.
All right, Coach. You've had some summer workouts. How are they going, and what are your expectations for 2025?
My expectations are really simple. I want us to make progress. And, you know, the thing of it is, nobody's ever going to be perfect. I'm not asking for perfection. My kids understand that I'm not asking for perfection. But I want us to be better at the end of the day, today, and tomorrow we want to be better than we were yesterday. So I just want us to make progress. And if we do that every day, we talk about a lot of times being 1% better. You know, we've got to make improvements. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. And I think if we do that, at the end of the day, we'll have a great product. And I'm looking forward to see what we're going to do.
All right, going from an assistant coach to a head coach, what are some areas that will look familiar to you this year and some areas that may look different as the new head coach?
I do more managing by walking around now, I think. I talk to my defensive coordinator, Coach Hauser, a lot about defensive stuff, and then I got to remind myself that's the reason I hired that guy, because he knows what he's doing. And so I annoy him a little bit, but he's gracious and lets me talk to him. But I do more management by walking around. I think the logistic part of being a head coach, I hate completely. It's enough to drive you crazy. Fortunately enough, I'm an anointed sleeper, so when I go to bed at night, I go to sleep. I don't lay awake thinking about meals and buses and, you know, whether this kid's going to be able to get to practice on time. I go to sleep, and I pick that stuff up in the morning. But the logistical side of being a head coach is it's no fun. So, but it is what it is.
All right, thank you, Coach Fuller, and good luck Thursday night. Our final Thursday night game is between Whiteville High School and the Ashley Screaming Eagles. The Whiteville Wolfpack are led by head coach J.P. Price. The Wolfpack finished 13-2 overall last year, 6-0 in conference play. The Wolfpack lost in the 2A Eastern Finals to Northeastern. Coach, congratulations on a great season for the Wolfpack. How many players did you lose, and how many are returning from the 13-win team last year?
We only returned our coaching staff. That's all that's back. No, we our offensive line, we returned our offensive line, 3 to 5 starters. Starting quarterbacks back. We lost a bunch on defense. Our whole secondary's gone. But, you know, we tell our kids, you know, every year you're going to lose kids to graduation, and we try to build kids through our culture and in the weight room. So it's the next man up mentality. So we have some pieces back, just a bunch of inexperience that need a lot of varsity reps in a hurry.
Wonderful. The Wolfpack will move up to 3A in the new 8A classification. What are your thoughts on the new conference and how will it affect White Bull?
Yeah, I think we have every county in North Carolina in our conference. We go from Brunswick County to Robeson County to Bladen County to Columbus County, and then Whiteville City Schools. So it's a mixture. It is what it is. And we look forward to it. Some of these teams we played before, so it is what it is.
All right, Coach, give us some names that we can hear Thursday night, and who are you counting on to have big seasons for the Wolfpack this year?
Our quarterback's back, and he's made some progress in the offseason. Our right tackle and Nate Robinson, he'll be a 3-year starter. And defensive lineman I have with me, Sam McBride. Really looking for some senior leadership to step up and lead these young guys to kind of keep the train rolling, so to speak, that we've started at Whiteville High School.
All right, Coach Price, thank you, and good luck Thursday night. The Wolfpack will take on the Screaming Eagles of Ashley High School. Ashley is led by Coach Dante Lombardi. Ashley finished 9-3 overall, 5-2 in the conference. The Screaming Eagles lost to Cleveland in the second round of the 4A state playoffs. Coach, congratulations on a history-making season for the Screaming Eagles last year. 7-5 in 2023, followed by 9-3 last year. The expectations for Ashley football have changed. What does 2025 look like for the Ashley football team this year?
2025, so we lost a lot of seniors, but like Coach Price said, it's next man mentality. We have a lot of rising juniors that are very hopeful, and then the mentality and the expectations are the same. I think Coach Yeoman does a great job, so him and I really have preached to our players the standard that we set is what's going forth. We beat everyone in our conference except Hoggard last year, and the expectations to do the same, 1-0 each week, and hopefully we could get past the second round of the playoffs.
All right, Coach. All new teams on your non-conference schedule this season. What do you hope to know about your team after 4 non-conference games leading into Topsail?
Yeah, I think they're all tough opponents. We travel very far, just like everyone else in non-conference. So I think just facing that adversity of getting off a bus after 2.5 hours, are we able to start fast and play 48 minutes? We have Scotland County week 3, which I think is going to be a really physical test. So just can we go 1-0 each of those games?
All right. One more question, Coach. Most people may not know this, may not be aware of this, but Ashley won their first ever state championship in female flag football. You were also the head coach of that team. Briefly talk about that experience and the impact that it had on the entire school and community.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't think my wife agrees because it's the same season. And this year they're moving the games to Wednesday to try to limit us to win, but I'm going to figure out how to get there. And it was awesome for that team and just the success we had overall in both programs.
All right, thank you, Coach Lombardi. Good luck Thursday night. That includes the Thursday night games. And now we'll head over to Friday night's games. Friday night, we'll be back in action. We'll start at 5 p.m. for our first game with South Columbus. The South Columbus Stallions taking on the North Brunswick Scorpions. The South Columbus Stallions are led by head coach Russell Dove. The Stallions finished 8-3 overall last year, 5-1 in conference play. The Stallions lost in the first round to Kinston in the 2A state playoffs last year. Coach, much better season for the Stallions last year. It seems the excitement for football is back in Tabor City. I saw a huge turnout for Midnight Madness last week on social media. Briefly talk about the resurgence of the Stallion Booster Club and the impact on your teams moving forward.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank my coaches and my kids and my principal, Ms. Beck, for those folks being here. We're absolutely excited about the season. Speaking of our Booster Club's had a huge impact back in our school. They've done a phenomenal job of getting the community invigorated, excited about Stallion athletics again. Midnight Madness was just a huge success money-wise, preseason-wise. Our kids absolutely enjoyed it. So that excitement creates the excitement within other teams. So speaking of that, our kids have gone to work. We've got back in the weight room, doing what we do, playing the type of ball we play. Sometimes, more is less. And I think that's kind of what we went back to last year, being really good at a few things and then moving forward. I think that was a big success. It helped us a lot last year. Also, I like to give all the credit over to my assistant coaches. I love the staff we got now. The coaches come in every day. Those kids get a lot of good coaching, get a lot of things they're not going to pick up everywhere else, and I can't thank those guys enough.
All right. What does 2025 look like as far as building off of the success of 2024?
Well, like anything else, I think you start with the first game. Everybody wants to start 1-0, but you got to start the first game. You can't look down the road to the Loris game. You can't look down the road to to the end of the season at Wildwood. You got to start with that first one. Been caught in that trap before. With our team overlooking the first game, you've got to start there. We look to build. Yes, we lost some really good seniors last year. Going to be hard to replace. We've got some really good seniors coming back this year. Expecting a lot of big things out of them, just like most coaches expecting them to lead the underclassmen. So we're excited about that, and I hope we can continue just one game at a time to continue to build and to bring that consistency back to our football program.
All right, one more question. Who are some names that I'm going to be calling out Friday night?
Well, hopefully, and a couple of guys that got back with me back there, our right tackle, number 62, Ja'Kai Johnson. Number 10, Briar Johnson, our fullback, Mike linebacker. Logan Todd, number 7, our starting wing back. Number 24, Cole Dove. That's my son. He's playing defensive end. Defensive line, you'll probably see Davion Williams, Sharosky Myers, just Easton McPherson. Got a lot of great kids, a lot of kids that we're expecting huge things out of this year. So we're excited. It's going to be a tough one against North Brunswick. Me and Coach are just sitting here talking. It seems like we've played each other 3 out of the 4 years. We're coming. So, but it doesn't matter who you got. You strap it up, you line up, you get ready to play. So we're excited. We thank Coach Fletcher and them for having us and inviting us every year for the job they do with the Bash at the Beach.
All right, thank you, Coach Dove. Good luck Friday night. Their opponent will be North Brunswick High School, led by head coach Brian Davis. North Brunswick finished 7-6 overall last year, 2-5 in conference play, and lost to 71st in the third round of the 3A state playoffs. Coach, welcome back. The Scorpions will move to 7A in the new 8-class system. Conference-wise, much didn't change for the Scorpions, but overall, how will the new 8-class system affect North Brunswick moving forward?
Well, I think we were only 5 kids away from being a 6A, so I don't know it mattered one way or another because, it's strong no matter what when you get to the playoffs. Playing in this conference over the last 7-8 years, it's kind of prepared you for such. And I think us being able to go to the third round 2 out of the last 3 years is a testament to the fine coaches that we deal with in our league, the depth and talent at every school. And, having to scheme and having to get ready for that makes it a little bit easier when you get in the playoffs. But before I go much further, I'd love to thank, some people who are here. Ryan Huffman's been instrumental in rebranding our school and helping us with our booster club. When I got there 7 years ago, we lost to those 4 New Hanover County schools 197-0. And I think we had a total of 11 first downs the year before. There wasn't anybody that wanted to play football at North Brunswick. So we had a total of 38 kids that first year. And I try to remind some of the kids that we have of how far we've come. We had a 2.3 team GPA when I got there. This past year we had a 3.6. We got some fine young men, and that's a testament to the support that we have from our administration. You got Coach King and her, she's our athletic director. You got Dr. Rollison, our principal. And then you got John Byers as an assistant AD as well. They're all very instrumental in helping us set the culture and the tone so that we can overcome some of the history. And then these young people that I get to work with and our assistant coaches who've done a tremendous job. This is the biggest staff I've ever had. I ain't never had more than 6 or 7 coaches, and now we're looking at 14. So we're starting to be like the big boys, and I'm excited about it. But good people like Asher Limbert that we brought today, Tyrell Simpson, and Jonah Campbell. You know, they're just good people, and it's fun to be at practice every day because you're coaching kids that give a darn, and they're going to do what you ask them.
All right, Coach, what are some new and old faces that we can expect to hear from the Scorpions this season?
Well, some of those guys we've already mentioned. You know, these guys have been playing for us for a little while. Jonah's really only in his 3rd year playing football at the high school level, and he did a great job as a starting quarterback last year, but this will be his 2nd year, and I think he's by far the best leader we have in the program. And then you got some big guys like Tyrell who are certainly going to be able to hopefully move some bodies, and we can run the ball real well. And then Asher's one of those guys you can put in a lot of different spots. But there are a lot of guys that are coming back, especially on the offensive side, who have experience and wherewithal. Hopefully they don't know what they're doing and give us a chance to make better adjustments this year that maybe we couldn't do due to inexperience. But there are just so many kids that I just have a lot of faith in. And I think our faith extends because of their work ethic. They're want to every single day coming to practice and doing everything that we ask. But as a coach, I couldn't be more pleased with the adults that are leading our kids and the kids that are doing a great job of leading themselves.
All right, thank you, Coach Davis. Good luck Friday night. Our next game will be South Stanley Rowdy Rebel Bulls and the Hoggard Vikings. The South Stanley Rowdy Rebel Bulls are led by head coach Terry Shackle. The Bulls finished the season 6-5 overall last year, 2-3 in conference play, and lost to Starmount in the 2nd round of the 1A state championships. Coach, welcome to the Bash. You traveled the longest of anyone to be here, so thank you. Briefly tell us what your program's about and how you became the head coach at South Stanley.
He's not here, but we look forward to playing him.
Well, that's good to know. All right. So the Bulls will take on the Hoggard Vikings. The Vikings are led by head football coach Craig Underwood. The Vikings finished 12-2 overall last year, 7-0 in conference play. The Vikings lost to Cardinal Gibbons in the 4th round of the 4A state playoffs last year. Question, Coach, welcome back. Congratulations on another great year for the Vikings. The Vikings will be in the 8A of the new 8-class system. What are your thoughts on the new class system, and how will it impact the Vikings moving forward?
I think we're excited about it. I mean, you know, anytime you have changes, there's, you know, some growing pains and adjustment period that goes with that. But I think the new classification system is going to be good for everybody. You know, I look at our school, our community, just so thankful to be a part of it, from our administration and coaching staff to a group of players that have just really bought into us wanting to compete at the highest level and looking for opportunities to do so. So we're really excited. I mean, 8A has definitely got some powerhouse schools in there, and we're trying to work our way into being a part of that. So.
All right. Looking at your non-conference games, Richmond, Jack Britt, Clayton, and Panther Creek to start the season off. Were these games intentional to make it harder on your team?
Yes, and I mean, I'll say that yes, and that me and each of those coaches are excited about the opportunity to compete against each other. I will say with the new classification system, being as far east as we are, calling and finding people that will agree to play is a challenge. So we're excited at every opportunity. I mean, I think Hoggard, Richmond County, right out the gate. I spoke to Coach Denson earlier today, actually, and we're both really excited about the opportunity for our team to play what I think will feel very much so like a playoff game in game one. You know, we've opened with Cleveland the last couple of years, which has very much so had that feel to it, and you know, I think it sets you up for growth. We're certainly going to find out who we are with challenges like that. So we're excited about it.
Cool. What does 2025 look like for the Vikings, and who will be the playmakers on each side of the ball?
You know, last year's senior class was a really special group. As they all are, we really try to challenge our senior players in particular, with making us a player-led team and owning that leadership. I've got 4 of those guys here with me today that get to step into those roles. So Everett Herdeman, Weston Chalk, Jaquay Locke, and Tate Myatt are 4 of a large senior class that we have this year that are excited to, I think, step into that role. I think I'm so fortunate with one of the best coaching staffs in the state. I try to tell those guys all the time that, my name gets mentioned a lot, but it's the work that they do, and it's the work these players put in that make us who we are. Hoggard is a place that is just the support that I feel there as a head coach is it's humbling, to be honest, and it's an awesome thing to be a part of. From, again, Coach Jones is back there, our athletic director, our principal, Chris Madden. They just support me so much in the goals that we have with trying to grow our program and getting us to the next level. That again, I look at the opportunity from our non-conference to playing in one of the better conferences in the state, in my opinion, to now competing in 8A playoffs. I'm just hoping that we can, take our program higher and higher each year and hopefully get the big one at some point.
All right, thank you, Coach Underwood, and good luck Friday night. Our third game Friday night will be the South Brunswick Cougars against the Laney Buccaneers. The Cougars are led by second-year head coach David Yao. The Cougars finished 0-10 overall last year, 0-7 in conference play. Coach Yao, welcome back. This time last year, you had just been named head coach, and you just had a new baby, trying to buy a house, all that, coaching football. Has life slowed down for you a little this year, and how has it prepared you last year? How has that prepared you for this year?
Life has slowed down, sure. Having a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old at the same time, my household has not slowed down at all. But football speaking wise, we've got settled in, built a great staff in this all season, brought some new guys in, and got a ton of experience with some older gentlemen on our staff. All these coaches have said it, and I got to say it too. We have the best staff in the state. There's a ton of experience in there, and so now the game plan is to bring all that experience to our kids. Our kids have done a great job this offseason of buying into what we're doing. We're changing up our offense and defense a little bit, and they're buying into that stuff, and they're owning their roles and doing a great job.
Great. Speaking of off-season, in the off-season weight room and getting to know your players, what changes, if any, have you decided to make since you first arrived at South Brunswick?
I mean, just for me in particular, when it comes to the weight room, I like to use our program on our TV. It's called Rat Coach. Put a little plug in for them. If you guys know anything about Rat Coach, invest in it. It's worth it. But everything we do is on time, kind of how you play football. You lift, you get a break. You lift, you get a break, kind of the situation like that. Our kids have bought into it. We did it a lot in the summertime. And it kind of helps them to understand that there's goals, there's responsibilities, and that you have to maintain that schedule every single day. So that's kind of one of the biggest things that we brought in. I was very fortunate our AD helped us out in paying half of it because it is kind of expensive. Football put up half of it, he put up the other half, and we use it a lot. And then, like I said, we offensive, defensive, speakingly, just trying to change up a little bit of what we're doing, verbiage and communication-wise. We changed our defense a lot. Went from more of an odd front to an even front because we got the bigger guys, but we don't have as many athletes as we need at the current moment. So try to get those guys in some space to make plays.
All right, Coach, you got a new conference for the Cougars. What many will remember as the old Waccamaw Conference. It's now called the Southeastern 3A, 4A, 5A Conference. What are some of your thoughts on the new conference and the new teams, and how will it impact South Brunswick moving forward?
Well, on paper, we're the big team in the conference. We're leaving the Mid-Eastern Conference where we were the smallest team, now going to this conference where we're now the biggest team on paper. I've said it all year long. That doesn't mean that we're going to show up and just win football games. We played South Columbus last year. They beat us. We played some other guys in our conference before. But for us, it's a chance to see some new competition. We don't have to cross the bridge in New Hanover County anymore, and that does a little bit of a mindset for our kids. When we make that trip over the bridge, sometimes they get a little scared. I mean, it is what it is, but we're not going to let our past define our future, and we're going to move forward. And so we're excited for the new conference to get a chance to play some new teams.
All right, thank you, Coach Yao, and good luck Friday night. The Cougars will face the Laney Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are led by new head coach Steve Brooks. Laney finished 6-5 overall last year, 5-2 in conference play. Laney lost to Ashley in the first round of the 4A state playoffs. Question number one, Coach. Congrats on the new job and welcome to the Bash. How has the transition on campus been so far, and how have summer workouts going?
Thank you for having me. I've always wanted to be a part of this event. Growing up a coach's son, this was one of the premier events that you always wanted to be a part of, so just lucky. But been blessed to have a great coaching staff, great players. Our numbers have been tremendous. I have a great administration. My AD, Coach Lynch, is here today with us, and I'm just been fortunate to be at a place like Laney, and the kids have worked extremely hard. Probably put in more hours than they've ever put in before, and everything we've asked them to do, they've not flinched.
All right. In the last 5 years, we've known Laney as throwing up a lot of yards, a lot of points, mostly in the air. What will 2025 look like for the Bucks offensively and defensively?
We're going to run the wishbone every single play. No, seriously, I have two offensive players here, Ryan Gallagher and Ellis Williams, that I expect great leadership from in our offense. Ryan's a first-year starter, but a longtime football player, has a huge arm, great upside. Ellis Williams is just one of our few backs that we have that has really taken on the whole leadership role of our offense. Really love how he practices, love how he leads our team. He's our main motivational vibe. And then two defensive guys, Preston Paul and Keeson White. They're definitely two guys on our defense that have shown up every day, and they bought into that. I want them to be more physical on defense, and it's starting to show up in our practices in camp.
Okay. I assume you inherited your non-conference schedule. What are your goals and expectations after finishing the first non-conference games headed into conference rival West Brunswick?
When I talked to Coach Little, he didn't let me know that those were the 4 non-conference games, or we might have had a different decision to make. But no, it's just I feel like our conference is almost like playing in the SEC. You better be ready to go every Friday night, and then obviously the 4 non-conference games. We go back to Greenville, or we go to Greenville twice, and that's no small feat. Very well coached teams. But it's going to do everything it can, though, to get us ready for the tough conference we got to play every Friday night.
All right, thank you, Coach Brooks. Good luck Friday night. In the last and final game of the Jamboree, we have Northside Jacksonville Monarchs taking on the West Brunswick Trojans. The Northside Jacksonville Monarchs are led by head coach Kenrick Pollock. The Monarchs finished the season 3-8 overall, 0-6 in conference play. Coach, welcome back. Now have an off season and summer workouts. How have they been going for the Monarchs?
They've been good. Kids been working hard in the weight room, on the track, running. I'm excited for this young group to get back. Our sophomores have started a lot of games on varsity, so now they'll be juniors, so we expect the big things from this group. Good.
Northside moves or will be 5A in the 8 class system. What impact will that have on your football program moving forward?
For us, it doesn't really change pretty much a lot except our conference. It'll be still the same teams in the playoffs for the most part. You get rid of teams like 71st and J.H. Rose and all those guys. I think it'll be helpful to us too. Moving to a new conference, give us some confidence going into the playoffs.
All right. What does 2025 look like for the Monarchs, and who do we need to step up and to have a great fall for the Monarchs this year?
Hopefully a lot better than 2024. Hopefully win a lot more games, and this year expect a lot of big things from Gavin Davis, receiver, and quarterback Reginald Gray, the third. Expect a lot of big things from those two right there.
All right, thank you, Coach Pollock. Good luck Friday. The Monarchs will face the West Brunswick Trojans. The Trojans are led by third-year head coach Shane Handy. West Brunswick finished 3-7 overall last year, 2-5 in conference play. Coach, welcome back. Year 3 as the head coach for the Trojans. What are you most excited about with this team as when you first arrived in Charlotte 3 years ago?
Well, first, thank Jimmy for opportunities he gives us, and always raising money and providing a great opportunity for our athletic program, and also our new principal, Mr. Hayes, and look forward to working with him. We're blessed at West Brunswick to have great facilities and great support and a great community. Biggest thing for us is just our young men have gotten better every year, getting stronger in the weight room. We've got a great group coming back as seniors with some great leadership there, and We've obviously played in a tough conference that's prepared us to get better every year. I think we finished strong last year, but we played a bunch of young guys. So those guys are a year older, and I think they've gotten a year stronger, and we're excited about the opportunities ahead of us for those young men to play to their ability.
All right. The non-conference schedule looks a little different this year for the Trojans. We opened the season with our rival South Brunswick in the first game rather than the last game of the year. What are you hoping to know about your team after the first 4 non-conference games before Laney on September 19th?
Yeah, I think obviously, Coach Yao will have his guys ready to play. It's a great rivalry game in our county. But, again, we opened up the past 2 years with second biggest school in South Carolina with Carolina Forest. So I want our guys just to, it doesn't matter who you play, come ready to play, develop every day. And we're going to evaluate ourselves after this scrimmage just like we evaluated ourselves last scrimmage. And just prepare and adjust, make our adjustments and make sure we're in the right spots to start those 4 games. And then after the 4 games, we'll start our conference schedule. So we're excited about that opportunity and the people that we're going to play.
All right, one more thing, Coach. Who are some names that we can expect to hear a lot of from the Trojans this fall?
The guys we have here today, Josiah Sneed will be a two-way player for us defensively and offensively on the offense and defensive line. Jude Saragal is a three-year starter at tight end and will play some defensive end. Antonio Sanchez, returning leader on our defense at linebacker. Nick Brown's coming off an injury from last year. Is a great leader for us spiritually and mentally. That he'll play corner and help us some at the running back position also. And then Israel Saunders is a new guy that plays outside linebacker and wide receiver for us. So those are some guys. Obviously, we have a young man that's a 2-year starter at quarterback, Josiah Borton. He'll do a great job for us. Our freshman running back last year is back. And then a guy that ran the ball for us 2 years ago that played at North Myrtle Beach last year, and Jaquel Davis is a return also at running back. So we'll have those 2 guys at running back that will help propel our offense.
All right. Thank you, Coach Handy, and good luck Friday night. That concludes the 7 games for our 2-night event, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank everyone for attending today. Special thanks to Brunswick Community College for allowing us to use their facility. Thank you to the entire Bash at the Beach committee for their hard work and planning of this event. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, check the website, www.bashatthebeach.com, to purchase tickets, view photos and videos from past events, share the GoFan links on all your social media pages, and encourage your fans to purchase their tickets now before they arrive on the game. We will now dismiss everyone and open up our coaches and players to the local media. Ladies and gentlemen, have a safe trip home in this rain. Thank you, and we'll see you Thursday and Friday night.